Many different prophets, mystics, and interpreters from completely different backgrounds keep pointing to the same year. Their visions, their timelines, and their predictions do not come from the same texts or the same cultures, yet somehow they land on a single date. This is every prophecy about 2027. Who said it? What they actually meant? And why the same year keeps showing up. Let's begin. Across religious circles, mystical traditions, and modern interpretations, a pattern has formed. Hundreds of videos and articles repeat the claim that 2027 marks the beginning of a major shift. Some call it a spiritual awakening. Some call it a biological transformation. Some call it a crisis. The specifics differ, but the year is the same. We start with the religious prophecies. One of the most repeated dates comes from a reading of Hosea chapter 6. A line says the people will be revived after 2 days and raised on the third. Another verse says that a day to God is like 1,000 years. Many prophecy teachers combine these ideas. 2 days becomes 2,000 years. If Jesus died around the year 27, adding 2,000 years lands in the year 2027. For some believers, this is a countdown to revival. For others, a signal that major events begin. The challenge is simple. The Bible never gives a specific year. The date is produced by a numerology formula and a chosen starting point. If you choose a different crucifixion year, the end date changes. But once 2027 spread online, it became the centerpiece of an entire prophecy timeline. Another religious source comes from the book of Daniel. Daniel's 70 weeks are among the most debated prophetic texts. Different teachers convert the symbolic weeks into years, attempt to align the numbers with events in Jerusalem, and propose ending points in the late 2020s. In these recalculations, 2027 appears often, not because the text names the year, but because the interpreters choose historical anchors that land there. The interpretations vary widely. Some conclude before 2027, some after. Yet social media simplifies the debate into a single idea. A prophetic cycle ends soon, and the year people hear most often is 2027. A third religious stream comes from followers of the late Kim Clement. Clement's prophecies were symbolic and metaphorical. He did not clearly state a year, but in recent years, clips of his old recordings have been reinterpreted and reorganized. Followers began placing 2027 onto comments that never included any date. What began as speculation turned into a belief that he foresaw major events converging around that time. This demonstrates a pattern. The interpretation is not always in the prophecy. It is added later. A date becomes attached by the followers, not the prophet. Why do religious prophecies lean toward near-term dates? Because a timeline 5 to 10 years away feels urgent, but still believable. Far enough that no one can disprove it immediately. Close enough that people feel they should prepare. 2027 fits perfectly into that psychological window. The world feels unstable, and people look for a near-future date that anchors their expectations. Now we shift to the mystic and seer prophecies. These come from an entirely different world, yet they arrive at the same year. One of the most quoted names is Baba Vanga. Lists of her predictions circulate across the internet. Many of these lists assign specific events to each year. For 2027, the claim is that humanity experiences a biological or genetic shift. Some describe a new disease. Others say people begin developing enhanced abilities. A few reference engineered biological changes. The issue is that Baba Vanga did not leave a written record with dates. These lists were created by followers long after she died. Many predictions are unverifiable and inconsistent. Yet because 2027 is attached to dramatic biological claims, the year becomes cemented in popular imagination. Another mystic source often mentioned is Nostradamus. Modern videos claim he predicted that 2027 marks the end of a papal era or a time of crisis. Nostradamus never wrote 2027 in his quatrains. The year is created by combining his symbolic poetry with a medieval document known as the Prophecy of the Popes. This document lists a series of mottos for each pope and ends with a final one who oversees a time of turmoil. Some commentators believe the final stage aligns with the late 2020s. They place the date near 2027, not because Nostradamus wrote it, but because they are matching papal succession to modern assumptions. Media headlines amplify these interpretations. A speculative idea becomes a dramatic headline, such as Nostradamus predicted 2027. The number spreads far beyond its origin. Another factor in mystic prophecies is the recycling and restamping of predictions. Many catastrophic predictions have circulated for decades. Biological changes, rising tensions, a final leader, an apocalyptic sign. These themes are not new. They reappear every decade with a fresh date. As soon as a year becomes popular in one community, others adopt it. Old predictions are given a modern year and shared as if they were original. This creates the illusion of convergence. It looks like multiple independent prophets identified the same year. When you examine the sources, most do not give the date at all. The date was placed into them by modern interpreters. So why does 2027 keep showing up? There are three main reasons. The first is near-horizon bias. Humans tend to predict major change within a short window. A few years ahead feels real. Not today. Not a century from now. 2027 sits in that psychologically comfortable zone. The second is the convergence illusion. When many unrelated predictions are reorganized online and assigned the same year, it seems like they all agree. In reality, the agreement was manufactured. It is an artifact of modern editing, not a shared ancient insight. The third is cultural pressure. When the world feels tense, people look for a date to attach their fears to. Predicting a specific year gives structure to uncertainty. It concentrates worry into a single point. 2027 becomes a symbolic deadline, a container for everything people cannot explain. The real meaning of this convergence may not be about the future at all. It may reflect the emotional temperature of the present. A society under pressure searches for patterns. It looks for signs. It creates timelines. And it gravitates toward years that feel close enough to matter. Whether anything significant happens in 2027 is unknown. But the fact that so many prophecies point to the same year tells us something important. It shows how people respond to uncertainty. It shows how modern interpretations shape ancient texts. It shows how myths evolve when culture is stressed. When you put every prophecy about 2027 into one place, a clear picture appears. Prophets did not agree on the year. Followers connected it. Mystics did not record it. Editors added it. Scripture did not mention it. Interpreters calculated it. Yet once the number emerged, it spread through religious groups, mystic circles, and online communities. The story about 2027 is not only about the future. It is about how we create meaning when the world feels unstable. It is about how we choose dates that let us focus our hope, our fear, and our imagination. The question is not what 2027 will bring. The real question is why the idea of 2027 became so powerful in the first place. Prophecy or projection. You decide.